What's going on, everybody? It is April 22nd, 2025. This is Puck U, brought to you by the great folks at Ylose.com. I'm Mike Burns. He's Les Victorie, Ylose NHL Handicapper. We have a huge night to recap. We have a huger night to get to. Strap in, buckle up. We got likes, we got leans, we got best bets. And who doesn't want to put together a little DGen parlay? First, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that little bell. Get your notifications on. Les, how the puck are you doing today, brother?
A little heartbroken, with the Habs losing what I thought was a really good effort in the second and third periods of that Caps game. But nonetheless, I'm actually in a great mood, Burnsy. We went another max bet winner last night with the Kings taking care of business at home. And, I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute, but definitely a little bit of a weird one and a sweat for the members. But the VIP people, we cashed again. Big night, over $6,000 in profit. And we're rolling 3-0 on max bets so far this postseason. So all in all, even though the Habs did lose, that definitely took some sting out of the womb.
Listen, man, it wouldn't be the NHL playoffs if there wasn't a healthy amount of sweat going on. Let's get over to the recap. Canadiens against the Caps. I mean, who else was going to step up and win this game for what was shocking to me, his first career overtime playoff game winning goal? The great eight himself, Alex Ovechkin, scored 2 goals, including the overtime winner. Set up by Anthony Bolivier. You're the French guy. You clean that up for me.
Bolivier.
Yeah.
C'est français.
I mean, we.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I got some things that you want to get off your chest on this game-winning goal. Lay it on him.
Okay. First of all, I am done with Patrick Laine.
Oh, come on.
I'm done with him. I was happy to hear that we acquired him at the start of the season because I felt like, well, he's been around the block. He's done rehab or whatever the fuck it is. And, it's a good story. He's going to come back and, he'll be that power play specialist. Well, he was and he wasn't. And then, he had glimmers of hope. But my God, this guy has got to be the slowest thing on the ice. He is terrible, Burnsy. And you know what? I am so sick and tired of watching him turn the puck over and just blowing assignments all the time. Like, oh my God, why does Martin St. Louis continue to put this guy on the ice in big moments? He's not producing offensively. They lost that game because of Patrick Laine. And it's the little things in the playoffs that is going to decide as to whether or not you win or you fucking go home. And having Patrick Laine do shit like he did last night is going to be the reason why the Montreal Canadiens are not going to win the series. The whole thing with the icing, he could have easily, that puck needs to get tipped in to cancel off that icing. And then he gets bumped and then kind of whines to the ref like, ooh, he hit me. Man up. Bear down, make a fucking play, get your stick on that thing. If you got to take a hit to get it deep, you fucking take a hit. Then the icing comes back down. He goes through his assignment, swings his purse at, the little bit of a scrum as he's continuing on through, gets on the offensive side of the puck in your own end, which is a no-no. Guess who's on the doorstep to bang it in? Lane Hudson gets caught looking at God knows what, but hey, we'll cut him some slack because he's a rookie and he logs big minutes. He knew what he did wrong. And, this whole thing is stemmed because Patrick Laine was a little bitch at the red line to get the puck deep.
Well, Daryl McKay in the chat says that Habs just needed to get some nerves out of the way, and that's kind of how it looked like the game went. It was all Caps in the first half, and then it was all Habs in the second half. Comeback kids, another third period rally, forcing overtime. We spoke about Ovechkin. We also got to talk about Dylan Strome. 3 assists, including the primary on Ovechkin's overtime goal. Bolivier goal and assist, 5 shots on goal. Logan Thompson, 33 of 35 saves. And then for the Habs, Suzuki, 7 shots on goal. One went in. Caulfield had a goal. Hudson with 2 assists. Dan Montembeault stood on his head. He had 29 to 32 shots. Nothing he could really do on that last one uptight. If this tells me anything, it does tell me that this can be a series. All right. As much as we talked about the preview, maybe the Habs stealing the entire series, I'm not that dejected over how the game ended up. Young team showed some fight, got back into it. Stupid mistakes at the end of it, but the Caps don't terrify me at all.
They don't. And the thing is 100%, Daryl, you nailed it. Montreal wasn't themselves in the first period, but they haven't been themselves in the first period for a long time. How many times do they go in the locker room down a goal or two after the first? I gave that free bet out yesterday on this very podcast that, Washington money line on the first period because of that reason. And sure enough, it did hit. Now, this game would have been a lot different if Montreal would have been able to keep this game 0-0 going into the locker room, because I think there was only a couple minutes left when Ovechkin did score his first goal of the night. So you want to feel good about going into the room. First game on the road, first postseason game for a lot of these guys. If you can go on in the room on the road 0-0 against a team like Ovechkin and Strome and the boys, you got to take it. It didn't happen, but they did a great job of being resilient and not giving up. And you got to give the Canadiens some credit. And I know Martin St. Louis in that room saying, hey guys, you know what? We can do this. Yeah, sure, we lost one, but we just proved something to ourselves that we can battle back against the 1 seed and compete. And we can do that, and we can be better. We know we can better. And if we become better, we're going to beat these guys.
Now, another team that I thought was going to do better, the St. Louis Blues lost to the Jets last night. Kyle Connor, another game-winning goal. Scheifele, goal and assist. I mean, these guys are just lighting it up. Scheifele gave the Jets a 1-0 lead in the first period. Jimmy Snuggerud, fucking great name. What a hockey name, Jimmy Snuggerud. He got his first of the playoffs, tied it up. But at the end of the day, it was, and I shot you a message on this, just like, where is the St. Louis offense? It's just absolutely invisible. And they put up what? They put up 3 in game 1, right? And then they disappeared in the third period. I mean, I just didn't see any attack. I didn't see any sustained pressure. I just didn't see any get up and go. What do you think about this game? Do the St. Louis have a chance to even this up ever?
We had Connor Hellebuyck on the card, over 20.5 saves, and he was at 20 saves with 12 minutes left in the game. I'm like, great. It's a close game. They're going to pull their goalie. They're going to, have some zone time. Everything's going to get to the net. And then, 4 minutes left, still not even in their end, just neutral zone turnovers. Yeah. And then it's like, there's fucking 2 minutes left in this game, and they still haven't gotten a shot on net. They've gone 11 minutes or whatever it was without a shot. And I'm starting to sweat now because the VIP chat is ringing off saying, what the fuck is going on with the St. Louis Blues? Why can't they shoot the puck? Why can't they do that? Luckily, we did cash it, so I was happy to see the over saves on Hellebuyck pull through for us this time, but it was definitely a bigger sweat than I wanted it to be. So congrats to all the VIP members. We did cash that one. However, the St. Louis Blues, and we talked about this yesterday, they need to manage Scheifele and Connor. If whoever you have checking that line, change them because it's not working. You're going to go home to St. Louis. You're going to get the last change. You need to do a better job of matching lines with them. Okay. And that's the only way St. Louis is going to have a chance, is because, again, Winnipeg isn't a very deep team where they're going to get multiple goal scorers from multiple areas on their lineup. You shut these two guys down and you're going to be back in this series.
7 points combined for the both of them. Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele in the first 2 games. If St. Louis doesn't figure them out, doesn't figure themselves out, this right here, maybe a nice little sweep coming up. The last 2 games that we had on the docket, late games, Avalanche and Stars. if you had Colin Blackwell on your bingo card for getting the OT GWG, then God bless you. You must have been plus 5,000. Scratched and
calling in sick. You're probably calling in sick this morning. I don't blame you.
I will say one thing in watching this game. Now on here, I gave out, Mason Marchment for, over 1.5 shots, and he only wound up getting 1 shot on goal. One thing I did notice, as much as I'm watching 27, all over the ice, this Blackwell kid, I know he was scratched in game 1. He's a 5'8" little ball of hate, brother. Flying down the ice, throwing the body around, getting into the mixer, throwing some mitts around. I'm shocked that he got the game-winning goal, but I'm not that shocked after watching this kid fly around the ice. Hell of a game in Dallas. Sagan got on the score sheet. He had a power play goal. He had almost 20 minutes of ice time. Harley contributed with a goal. He played a game-high 35 minutes. Ottinger, 34 saves on the night. This was a back and forth kind of game. Big effort in Dallas to even the series here at 1 apiece. What'd you see in this game?
This, to me, was almost a must-win for Dallas. Yeah. You don't want to go back to Mile High City down 2-0 against a really good Colorado team. A lot of people have already written off the Dallas Stars as, going to lose to the Avalanche, and that might still be the case. But you don't want to go down 2-0, and I expected a bigger effort from Dallas, and I told you yesterday on the podcast that I can't see Colorado's goaltending being that good the whole series. I know Blackwood's got great numbers this season, but the game 1 he was outstanding. Last night he was just really good, and it just wasn't good enough. So we did have Dallas as a underdog bet on the VIP card. Members cashed that one up too. So shout out to my boys in Texas to getting it done and beating Colorado to cash that underdog bet. It's a good series, and these are 2 fun teams to watch. And I'm really looking forward to beat Colorado at home, because that's a pretty bump in place come postseason time.
Game 3 shifts to Denver, Ball Arena tomorrow night. I'll tell you something to keep an eye on. You definitely don't want to go into Colorado down 0-2. But another reason why you can't walk into Denver 0-2 is because of the possible return of Gabriel Landeskog. He's off injured reserve. They're working him out. He may be inserted in the lineup in game 3, and what a fucking story that would be. But we will see. Wrapping up our last game. Now, you want to talk about something where I went to bed, put my head on a little pillow.
We all did.
Sweetest dreams. And I woke up and I saw a message from you. What the fuck happened? And I looked at that score. How did that game end up 6-5? It was all LA. LA was up 4-0, and somehow it ends up 6-5. What in the hell happened? What in the Connor McDavid happened?
This is one of those games where the coaches go in the room after and they don't talk about it. They don't bring it up. Hey guys, we got the win. We need to be better. We're going to move on. We're not going to watch the video of the third period. We're not going to discuss it, because it was a very out of the ordinary thing for something like this to happen, especially against a team like the Kings, who are a very good defensive team, and goaltending is usually a fairly strong suit for them. But my God, Stuart Skinner was fucking terrible. He was terrible. And you know what? I can't blame him for all of them, because Evan Bouchard is a turnover queen, but he's got to make a save. Holy man. And you got to give the Oilers some credit. I thought they were nowhere to be found in the first 2 periods. And that's what I stayed up to. I think it's 4-1, even though it was a max bet for the VIP, for the LA Kings to take care of business at home. I felt confident, but then I looked at my wife and I said, this game isn't over. We're going to go to bed, but my mental clock is going to wake me up at 1 a.m, panicking to check the phone just to make sure, because no lead is too big to catch in the NHL postseason, especially when you wake up the beast inside of Connor McDavid. And that's what happened last night. He took over that third period and he brought the entire team up with him. And Edmonton had arguably their best period of the year. So they're going to, take the loss, but I think they're going to be putting LA on their heels now because that's tough to do. It's tough to give up 4 goals in one period when you have a 4-goal lead and somehow still squeak it out. You got to have thought that the minute Edmonton tied it up, that Edmonton was going to win this game, right? The momentum, the whole thing. And then Stuart Skinner decided to, not make a save again. And, I wonder what Connor McDavid's message to Stuart Skinner was in the room after that game. Hey, man, try to get in the way of that little black thing. That thing that we move around the ice, it needs to hit you, right? If it goes around you, that's bad. So try to get hit by it, and then, maybe we'll win the fucking game.
Hey, Stu, let me talk to you for a minute. Come here, you dirty motherfucker. Yeah. What a squandered comeback. But still, I mean, you can look at this and say, what a wasted opportunity. You had this third period, you came back and you didn't pull it through. But what this tells me this is going to be a series. And I know that we talked about in the preview about Edmonton not having that depth, that depth scoring, line 2, line 3, putting the puck in the net. Who the fuck needs it when you got Draisaitl and McJesus out there? I know it's not a long-term recipe for success, but holy shit, did these guys wake up at the right time? Going on in the chat, Daryl and Dynamic Euro Customs, they're saying thank God for a little early cash out. Dynamic hit on that Arvidsson over 1.5 shots yesterday. Took the entire game, but we got it. A lot of offense for LA. Kuzmenko, he had his first and 2 assists in his playoff debut. Adrian Kempe, goal, 2 assists. He had 5 shots on goal. And then Philip Deneau, 2 goals, including the game winner on 4 shots. Hell of a game. Didn't think it was going to go down that way. McDavid gets 4 points. Draisaitl gets 2, goal and an assist. Corey Perry finds the stat sheet, goal and an assist. So we'll see how that shapes up for game 2. I as much as you want to say that the momentum is on LA's side after the win, is it? I don't know. I think they got to do a better job of setting the tone with the national anthem instead of the fucking harmonica crew that they had out there. Holy shit. I don't know somebody got fired in LA after that one.
Also, shout out to Jeff Skinner. First playoff game in his fucking 900,000 career games in this show. First playoff game. We gave it out as a free pick yesterday to get a point. He got in his assist. And also shout out to Philip Marquez in the chat. He says he's made some money in the past couple days. He says he's up $5,000 tailing these picks, guys. I'm telling you, the VIP is where it's at. Head on over to that Telegram and fucking get the entire fucking postseason for $100. You won't regret it. We're up over $12,000 or $13,000 this postseason already, and we're only 3 days in, Bernsey.
Links for all purchases are in the description below. All right, enough of the tire pump. I mean, we love to pump our tires here, but now we got to get to the real deal. Now, there's a big reason why I got this camouflage New Jersey Devils hat on. Okay, it's because
you don't want to be seen.
Dick. My guys are coming for war. My guys got their backs against the corner, and they're going to be doing it shorthanded tonight. Luke Hughes out of the lineup. Brendan Dillon out of the lineup. It's going to be a tough task for a team that just got their fucking doors blown off. But my guys are coming. They're coming to Raleigh tonight. They're bringing the fucking heat. And we're going to cash a plus 3,000 money line just to fucking get the victory tonight. Tough task for the Devs after getting their shit pushed in for game 1. What do we have a chance tonight?
This is why I tell my children don't do drugs, because then they sound like shit that comes out of your mouth sometimes. And you know what? I'll tell you what. It's definitely been a tough go for New Jersey. You got Markstrom swinging the axe at his own fucking players. You got some key injuries happening, but you need to be able to find a way and compete with or without your best players. You're going to have this no matter what. There's going to be times where Connor McDavid isn't healthy and Draisaitl isn't healthy, and you need to rely on other teammates to get you there. So with that being said, I'm not going to say the Devils are going to pull off a plus 230 upset right now, but I wouldn't mind seeing the Devils plus 1.5. You're getting almost even money. At the end of the day, this is still a pretty good hockey team with a really good goalie. And we've all seen sides of Carolina's goaltending being holy. And if he is, that's going to give the Devils a chance. And especially if the Devils come out firing and get more than 9 shots in their first 2 periods, they need to do a better job of controlling the puck and controlling the offensive time and not turning it over. And they got to be throwing everything to the net. You got a little bit of a thin lineup. You called up a couple guys to replace these guys. It's going to take a little bit of time to get some chemistry in the room, but you got to go and find a fucking way. No team that has ever won the cup has been 100% healthy the entire series, the entire playoffs. It doesn't happen. I think Carolina is getting too much juice on this because of these injuries. Don't get me wrong. They have the potential of winning this game 5-0. They do. But I think we see a different Devils team because of those injuries. Sometimes it actually brings the team up because the whole desperation setting sets in and it actually makes your team better. So I hate to do this. My free pick for this game, Burnsies, I am taking the Devils plus 1.5. It's just too good of a price to pass up. I'm probably not going to put my mortgage payment on it, but I'm definitely going to be playing this game, New Jersey plus 1.5. You're welcome.
It's got to feel a little bit good doing it. You know what I mean? Get on the Devils bandwagon just a little bit, you know?
As long as I don't have to wear a fucking camel hat with that logo on it there, I'm sure I'll play along.
NYC born, he says, no fucking way. I wish I could sit here and argue with you, brother. It does feel gross, Alex. It feels dirty, but sometimes ugly wins. Sometimes ugly does win, and the Devils are going to win this game. It's got to get fucking ugly. They got to throw some jam out there. They got to gnash their teeth a little bit. They got to take some penalties. They got to do some dirty slashes. Knock them out, baby. You know, get dirty. Get some old time fucking hockey going here. Another couple of things to keep an eye on. Now, obviously, Carolina had 45 shots on goal the first round, and that's their MO. These motherfuckers shoot the puck. You don't have to ever worry about them not fucking making an attempt towards the net. Markstrom right now, he's set at an over-under of 26.5. I think that's got to be, based off of game 1. Why not for game 2? If you want to look at some other props going on, Seth Jarvis, hell of a fucking player. This guy doesn't just put the puck in the fucking net, but he fucking moves his ass off. He gets up and down that ice. He throws the body. He gets in there, and he does very well against the Devils. He's averaging over a point per game just this season alone. He's gotten a point in 80% of his last 10 games. He's a hell of a player. And if you want to look something on maybe on the Devils side, keep an eye on Jesper Bratt. Obviously, with Jack Hughes out, it really just comes down to Hischier and Bratt. Maybe you'll get a little Timo time in there, maybe a power play goal. I would love to see Stefan Nason step up against his old team. I don't know, but Bratt is definitely averaging over a point a game against Carolina in his career. He got an apple on the lone Devils goal last game. So we'll take the Devils plus 1.5. I'll take the plus money on the money line. No problem. All right. A-Song wants to think about the under. I mean, the under has cashed 5 of the last 10 games. 4-1 result last time, 5-2 Carolina before that. So, I mean, we'll see. Traditionally, these guys do tend to kind of end up in a 4-2 victory, one side or the. It's just kind of a weird roll of number. 5 of the last 7 games was either New Jersey 4-2 or Carolina 4-2. Before that, it was all unders, a couple OT victories in Carolina side. That's where I was hoping or I was seeing. I think I missed out on the under for game 1 with the 4-1 victory. So we'll see what happens in Raleigh tonight. It's not going to be an easy task for my guys, but they're up for the challenge. You want to talk about not an easy game to look forward to. This is going to be a heavy one. We're taking on the Sens and the Leafs. I saw in the chat a lot of people thinking that it's going to be a Toronto sweep. I don't know, buddy. Slow it down a little bit. Senators came out last game completely undisciplined. Looked like a fresh team to the playoffs. Everyone's running around, and I know that there was a lot of chirping online. Oh, let them play. A lot of soft calls. In the playoffs, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. You got to recognize early in the game what you're able to get away with. And the Sens just kept marching to the fucking penalty box last game. The Leafs, netted 3 power play goals. Do the Sens have a chance? Are they able to clean it up and play a clean kind of game against Toronto?
They're going to have to, because that power play that they're going up against is a dangerous one. And you got to expect that they're probably going to run 50 to 65%, 25 to 50% success rate. So if you take 4 penalties, you might be down 2-0, just like that. So if you're going to take a penalty, you better make sure that it's not 200 feet from your net, that it's, the guy's on a breakaway and you have to get your stick in to, disrupt his stick handling and take a hooking call. Those are the penalties you got to take. There's a couple dangerous plays in this game. The whole Matthews boarding call, people are saying that he sold it. I don't think so, because that's a dangerous play. There's a lot
Matthews sells everything.
Well, here's the thing is sometimes you'll kind of get caught off guard when the hit's coming, but you're not ready yet. You go to throw a little bit of a reverse check into those kind of situations and you try to time it so that you're throwing it at the same time as you're receiving it. But if you think that he's further away and you're not really ready for that, those kind of situations can happen. And that could have been a very dangerous play for Matthews. Like when you go into the boards like that, you got to think collarbones, separated shoulders, because the first thing you do is you put your hands up or you land shoulder first. And it's happened to me before. I've separated my shoulder that way. So I kind of saw that and I had a little bit of a flashback. I'm like, ooh, geez, that could have been really bad for him. So I get Ottawa's trying to play physical, but they have to play smart physical. Okay. You want to be having scrums every fucking whistle against this team. You want to be trash talking them. Like, this is the Battle of Ontario, one of the biggest rivalries in, for 2 Canadian teams at least. And you got to just be a little smarter. I thought the Ottawa Senators didn't play a terrible game. I thought they made some poor decisions, which led to opportunities for Toronto, and they capitalized on them. But as far as that goes, I thought Stolarz was really good. He saw quite a bit of rubber. So for a team that hasn't made the postseason in a long time to come into Toronto and kind of bang them up a bit and get that amount of shots on Stolarz and some good opportunities, I think there's a lot more good to take away from this game for Ottawa than people are believing, because people just see the score, but that's not what we do here. We dive in deeper and we see the bigger picture here. And I see the bigger picture is Ottawa making some adjustments in this game. I think Linus Ullmark is going to be better. He's going to have to be. And you got to remember, these guys haven't played in the playoffs in a long time. I mean, not Ullmark, but the team itself. Everyone is going to just have to calm the fuck down and go play Ottawa Senators hockey. And I think they can do it. And you know what? They fucking better tonight, Bernsey, because this series could be over faster than we think if Ottawa doesn't get settled in.
A lot of times you have a young team out there and they just don't know kind of how to handle the emotions, right? That was clear for the first one. Travis Green is a good coach. That's a player that he played with some fucking jam back in the day. I think he's going to be able to settle the nerves. I'm not going to be shocked here if the Sens even this up, but they have to play smart. And they need more contribution. I mean, Drake Batherson was all over the ice. He played a phenomenal game. Ridley Gregg had a phenomenal game one. Both of them, had goals for the Senators. But is there just too much firepower in Toronto? I mean, you're talking about Mitchie Marner with 3 points, Austin Matthews 2 assists, Willie Stiles with a goal and an assist, Tavares a goal and an assist. Nyes had found the short score sheet with a goal. For me, the only success that the Ottawa Senators can have tonight is you got to stay out of the fucking box. You
100%. But here's the other thing too, though, is sure Toronto won 6-2 or 6-2. They only had 24 shots on net. And how many power plays did they have? They had 8. They spent a lot of time on the power play, and they still only had 24 shots on net. I mean, there were a lot of high scoring opportunities being on the power play, but that's the whole fucking point. But the point is 24 shots on goal typically doesn't result in 6 goals. It will get 3 or 4. So if Ottawa can stay out of the box, I think they're right in this game. And I can see this series going back to Ottawa 1-1.
Yeah, I think obviously Allmark has to step up. He's the playoff veteran. He's got to make key saves. Stolar's had a great game. Dynamic Euro says Stolar's over on saves. I think Senators are going to be coming with some jam. They're going to be firing the puck on net. I like Drake Batherson with over a point. And keep an eye on, I know, the crowd was giving it to Brady Tkachuk, but he really wasn't much of a factor. And I mean, this is also a guy who plays real heavy, right? And maybe he has a lingering injury or something like that. But this is his chance to step up. We saw it in Four Nations. I mean, maybe he does need to open up the game by dropping the fucking mitts, and pounding somebody's face in. It's like you want to set the tone, but you want to set it in the right way. You don't want to get that extra 2-minute instigator and put your team back on the fucking on the penalty kill. But this is going to be a good game to watch, and I wouldn't be completely shocked if the Sens even this one up.
No, 100% agree, man. It's going to be a good game. I'm excited because I live in Ontario, so there's you can't go in the grocery store without seeing some Ottawa flags attached to the window flags and Leaf ones parked right beside it. So it's going to be a fun series, and we might even have some action on the card in this game tonight. So be sure to tune in and get that VIP card.
All right, moving to our last game one. I think the NHL set this schedule up perfectly for the Florida Panthers. Game one starts tonight. They've had the last, 5-6 days off. They're getting a lot of unhealthy players back. Matthew Tkachuk's going to be in the lineup. Marchand was a little bit banged up. We got the Battle of Florida unveiling in front of us, and this is going to be a heavy fucking series here. You're talking about two of the best teams in the league. The defending Cup champions, obviously, with the Cats, led by Alexander Barkov. He had 81 points this season. He's averaging over a point a game. Reinhart had 81 season. The Rat line is back. I want to see Tkachuk, Marchand, and Bennett out there mucking it up, getting dirty. To me, I know that they're the defending Stanley Cup champions, but the Cats have played a lot of hockey over the last 2 seasons. So you've seen a little inconsistencies through Bobrovsky. I know he always elevates in the playoffs, but he's got over a 3 goals against during the regular season, only a .90 save percentage. What do you see out of the Cats that can give them a run to defend the Cup?
I see the NHL cutting them a break with this scheduling. And it's funny because I could just see the conversation with Paul Maurice and Gary Bettman. Hey, Gary, we're still a little hurt. So if you wouldn't mind,
a little busy on Sunday.
We won the Cup. We brought in a lot of revenue for the league. So could you maybe give us the latest game one date there? Brady's still, or Matthew's still kind of hurt, and Bradley's still. I could just see that conversation going with Paul Maurice. So I don't know if that's the case. I'm not speculating that there's any insider trading here, but nonetheless, the Cats haven't played in a week. They haven't played in 7 days, which is got to be difficult to come in and, be guns a-blazing right off the hop, because you haven't played in a week, and some of these guys haven't played in months that are coming back. So I'm definitely leaning on Tampa first period money line because they're at home, because of the amount of rest Florida has had. Sure, they might be healthy, but they may not be in sync. They may not be as clean and good as they typically are. So Tampa Bay first period money line is where I'm looking at tonight. And, I do see Tampa winning this game. The home teams have really been crushing game ones this year in the playoffs.
Yes.
And surprisingly enough, it is a little bit of a pick 'em right now. So there is some confusion as far as the sharp bettors are going. They don't really have a big edge where we're seeing big line movements. It is getting a little bit more in Tampa's favor as the day goes on. So I'm expecting that number to continue to keep getting lower on the money line. So I'm looking for the first period money line. I think Tampa is going to come out flying. I think Tampa is going to have a good chance of winning this series and maybe even the next one if they can stay healthy. And if Vasilevsky, plays like Vasilevsky can, I think Vasilevsky outduels Bobrovsky.
There's a lot of offense coming Florida's way, and for Bob not to be sharp in this series, I don't know how far that Florida can actually take this. I mean, you're talking about the NHL leading scorer in Kucherov, 121 points, 37 goals, 84 assists. He's had 28 points in the last 16 games. So maybe the time off hurts a guy like that who is so fucking hot down the stretch, but you also got Braden Point. He's got 87 points in 87 career playoff games. Hagel had 90 points this season. Gensel, he's a 40-40 guy, 40 goals, 40 assists plus. Cirelli had 27 goals. Nick Paul, 22 goals. I mean, you got the veteran in the back with the big bomb and Hedman. And I'll tell you something else too. Vasilevsky is back. The narrative for the last couple seasons is, like Vazzy he ain't got it no more. He ain't got it no more. He found it. The last 10 games, he's at a 1.71 goals against and a 9.33. You want to talk about getting hot at all the right times. As much as the Cats needed the time off to get healthy, it's not like Tampa is a young team. I'm sure they appreciated the help as well, but in the Battle of Florida, these guys have faced off enough times that they're going to bring it, and it's going to get heavy. A-Song 31 says Braden Point, ATG. Bro, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Convince me against that. I dare you. What do you like? Is it easier to say what don't you like about Tampa?
You know what? I'm surprised that they're in this position that they're in. When they, the whole Stamkos thing happened during the offseason, I thought this might be their way of, committing to a retool, but they are just as good, if not maybe even better, without Steven Stamkos. And they proved that in the regular season. And these guys like Kucherov and like all the guys you mentioned have stepped up and have committed to being such an in-sync unit that this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I just don't see that on the Florida Panthers right now. I don't see that chemistry with 3-4 guys like they have been. But time will tell. I think this could be a little bit of a goalie duel. I think we're going to see some good goaltending on both sides. So I want to lean on the save prop for Bobrovsky in this one. I think, like I said, Tampa's going to get off to a good start. And right now, Bobrovsky's save totals only at 23.5, Bernsey. And I'm a little bit surprised by that, given all the circumstances we've already kind of outlined. So Sergei Bobrovsky over 23.5 saves. I think Tampa Bay is going to be peppering them early and often. One more thing there, Matt Clare, the VIP chat. There is a VIP chat in the Telegram. you can email the Ylose at service or service@ylose.com. Yeah, I'm French, so I get things backwards. If you're not in it, we'll get you over the link. And a lot of people chat to me about, whatever in the personal Instagram too. So go on and head over to that. And
shoot me a message. I'll get dialed in, brother. No worries. What was that Bob line over what? I'm sorry.
23.5, I think. Let me just pull it up one more time here. 23.5, over 23.5, I think is going to be a pretty easy cash. Well, there's no such thing as an easy cash, but you know what I mean.
It's the playoffs, man. Everything is a fucking sweat. All right, going on to the late game. This motherfucker starts at 11 o'clock Eastern. Thanks, Gary, for this schedule. Awesome job. I guess I got no sleep tonight. We got game 2 between the Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, the Golden Knights capitalized on their opportunities in game 1. They outshot the Wild 27-20, converted on both their power play chances. Vegas had a lot of offensive. I mean, you want to talk about a team that's got some depth. All right. Brett Howden scored 2 goals, including an empty netter. Thomas Hertl, he had a goal and an assist. I told you I was going to butcher this name, Dorofeev.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
not bad.
Good, yeah. I'll take it.
He added a little PPG. They're the bright spots for Minnesota. It was all Boldy and Kirill. What a friggin' setup Kirill had with that slap pass, fake out, to Boldy on the back door. Ryan Hartman was flying around, but there really wasn't much else offense coming Minnesota's way. Gustafsson made 23 saves, but he struggled to contain Vegas's power play. How do you think game 2 shapes out here?
I think it's a lot of the same. I think the Vegas Golden Knights are arguably one of the best teams in the NHL right now, and they have been all year. It's not that this is a surprise, but they carry that into their home rink, and they play really, really well at home.
It's the fortress.
And I've been to a few games there, and it's a buzzing place, and I would not want to come into that rink and play against this team. They're big, they're fast, they throw the body, they can score. There's definitely a lot of money moving in on Vegas to win this game at home and take care of business at home. Now, if you're Minnesota, you got to take some good out of the last game. You played with them. You played with them the whole game, even though you only mustered up 20 shots. You're going to have to control and possess the puck a lot more if you want to be successful. But there were some holes in the goaltending and the defense for the Vegas Golden Knights. So Minnesota probably has watched the video, and they're going to probably make some adjustments. And I think we see a little bit of a different Minnesota team tonight. I don't think they're going to win, but I think this game is going to be a good one. Unfortunately, Bernsey, I'm not staying up till fucking 11 o'clock to just start the national anthem again. It's been a long couple nights sweating these max bets. I'm probably going to be staying away from this game for the most part, but I do like Minnesota to have a better effort, but will it be enough? I guess we'll find out.
Well, Minnesota's they're going to need more than just Boldy and Kaprizov. They need a solid effort. They need to roll 4 lines. They need to bring some pain in there. Otherwise, we were kind of previewing this one of all the sweeps, besides the Devils sweeping the Hurricanes, which didn't really work out. This was probably the only other one that we ever saw. See, it's tough. It is tough getting a W at the Fortress in Vegas, and Minnesota has all that they can handle right now. Gus has to play better. They need to stay out of the box. I mean, Vegas we're 2 for 2 on their power plays. Not an easy task for Minnesota. And honestly, man, I would love to see Minnesota go far in this. The state of hockey hasn't seen success in a real long time. We'll see what happens. In years to come. I mean, they were in cap hell for so many years because of the Suter and the Zach Parise fucking monster contracts that they got screwed over with. We'll see what Billy G has in store and what they can bring here. But yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'll check the box score tomorrow and see how this goes. All right. 4 games for you guys. Now let's move to best bets. Of all the likes and all the leans that we gave out tonight, Les, what do you feel the best about?
The Tampa Bay money line first period. That is my absolute best free bet I will be putting out today. That's my favorite one. I just see them getting it done. I definitely play these ones a little bit smaller just because first periods are tougher to cash. That's why, you usually get a better line on it. So don't be playing too aggressively, but I definitely think I could see a 1-2-1 kind of lead after one in this game.
Now, just catching back up on the chat, Bernardo said that he lost $700 yesterday, tailing our free picks. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Really am. I wouldn't suggest throwing 700 here on a free pick, but if you took 100 of that and you bought the VIP package, you had 600 that could have went somewhere. So just saying, brother, we're here for the community. We do our best for you, but if you want the absolute locks that we have, the ones that we feel the strongest about, link is in the description. Make sure you grab the NHL season. It's only $100. We got you through the playoffs. We're 3-0, if I'm not mistaken, right? 3-0 on max bet so far to start the playoffs. All right, let's have one more little fun thing going on here. Who doesn't love a little DGen parlay? Now, if I may, can I have the stage here?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to take two legs of this one. I'm going to be taking Jesper Bratt anytime point, right? It's going to be juiced. It's going to be a big number, but when we throw everything together, don't worry. We're going to make some money off of this guy. Jesper Bratt, great career success against Carolina, loves playing in Raleigh. He's going to find himself on the score sheet when the Devils win 6-0 tonight. And then I also like a real solid effort out of Matt Boldy. Right now his over-under shots is at 1.5. I'm going to be taking Matt Boldy over 1.5 shots. Him and Kaprizov have been the train that leads the wagon. If that's a saying, just made it up. Now it is. So I like Matt Boldy over 1.5 shots. Jesper Bratt over 0.5 point. What are you thinking, Les? What else could we do here?
I got two more legs for that parlay.
Bring it, bro. I'm getting excited.
Willie Stiles over 1 point. William Nylander for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He loves getting points at home, and he's done such a good job at it. I still think Toronto's going to score 3 or 4 in this game, and it's a good chance that Willie Stiles is a part of it. So William Nylander over 1 point, and we've already talked about it. We're going to go back to Tampa and Braden Point anytime point. Braden Point anytime point. Yeah, there we go.
It feels so good.
It's like it's meant to be. That's my 2 legs for your 2-legger. You put that together, that's a 4-legger, probably paying about plus 350-ish. And you know what? Why not? Why not? Not why. The question is why not, can it hit?
Correct. I don't think it's a why. I think it's a when. When is this motherfucker going to come out for us?
It's going
to hit. So that's our little DGen parlay, little pizza money parlay, right? Have some fun. Watch the games, crack a little beer, sit back, relax, watch the Devils roll Carolina. It's going to happen. No doubt at all. Eesh,
there's some
ugly.
doubts. There are doubts.
Feels
hey,
ugly.
You got to give me some credit. I'm on your side. I said Devils plus.
Oh, you're my man, bro. Because you're my man's in them. That's how this shit goes.
Even when they lose 7-2 tomorrow, we're going to come on here and I'll just say I was wrong.
Right. Then we bring it back to Jersey. Right. We rattle off 4 straight. What could go wrong?
Somebody get this guy some medicine.
Stanley Cup champs. There's still
He's
hope.
off his meds again.
Have some. All right. Besides my Devils, Les, any closing remarks for the guys?
Nope. Guys, just make sure you're betting within your means. Somebody posted earlier saying that they lost a bunch of money on our free bets, which I don't think was really possible. We gave out a lot of free bets yesterday, and there was a shitload of them that hit. Nonetheless, make sure you're playing within your means. If you want tonight's best bets, they're going to be on my card. It's going to be dropped around probably within the next hour and a half. $100 gets you that card. You know what? We're running up the playoff marker right now, and we're going to try to continue this best bet streak of 3 in a row, max bets in a row. We're going for 4 tonight. And yes, that's right. We are putting a 4th max bet in a row on the line for tonight. Head on over to the Telegram. Get in there, and if you have any questions, Birdsey will post the email that you can reach out to us, and get you in the VIP chat, so you know all the ins and outs of what I'm thinking and what I'm talking about. Sometimes I just need a little bit of a stress ball, and I ring off some stupid shit in it, and put some extra little free bets in there as the night goes on. Maybe do some live bets too, which we're going to start getting into more as these playoffs continue. Like last night, taking the Oilers on the money line would have been a really interesting bet after 2 periods. And you know what? I almost did it. I don't like saying that because anybody can say that, but I told my wife, I said that game was not over. We're going to be probably doing some more live bets, very small units on those live bets, but the best bets are on that card, $100, get into the Telegram, and let's go make some money.
All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for the chat, interacting with us. We love it. We're not just here for us. We're here for you guys. Make sure you all get over to ylose.com. That's the letter Y, LOSE.com. Your home for stats, trends, results, and free picks. Make sure you check out the entire Ylose team, led by the Godfather, J.A. Cavalier, Luke, the prop master Shuey, Neil Mack, the best soccer handicapper in the world, the coach Rick Bowe, and of course, Graham, the Shark Sheesby. I'm Mike Burns for less Victory. Always bet with your head. If you or somebody has a gambling problem, reach out. There is help available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We'll see you all tomorrow. And forever remember, puck you.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation. No